All right, and we are back. We are live here for our Football Friday Night podcast on demand, presented by Sun City Sitrep. We're also brought to you in part by VP Marketing and Warrior Allegiance. Hey, if you're looking to start a podcast, if you have a business out there, if you have a really good story, reach out to the great people here at Sun City Sitrep. They could set you up, put you in this beautiful studio, have you working with these beautiful mics and a great team, along with this awesome all these awesome cameras and awesome lighting and everything. And they can make your dreams, your vision a reality here as a podcast. So big shout out to the great team here at Sun City Sitrep for making this possible. We are here and it is week number 8 for high school football here in El Paso. I'm Adrian Broaddus. Zay Galindo will join me in just a second, but the host of Football Friday Night is in the hot seat. It is Beau Bagley, who is with us right now, who is also the executive director of the 915 Showcase, the Greater El Paso Football Showcase, that's coming up here later this year on December 20th out at SAC 2. There's so many events that are going to be happening leading up to this. This show in particular, instead of previewing the week, instead of talking about all that's going on in high school football this week, we're going to dedicate this one to the 915 Showcase.
It's about time.
It's time. It's time, Beau, because we're past the midway point of the
Very
season,
much so, yeah.
and this is a good time to kind of speculate who might be an all-star down the line and who might actually play in this big game. But
yes,
thanks
we're not giving out nominations nominations are out there. We're not giving out bids just yet, all-star invites. But boy, it's been an exciting year so far. Can you believe it? Through week 7, we already have a city record that's fallen. Ernie Powers at Franklin High School has been dynamic. I mean, talk about 38 rushing touchdowns through 7 weeks of the season. It's amazing. Probably see more this week leading into week 8. What a season so far. It's really been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really has. And you think about all the senior players this year who are going high-level Division I. You could talk about Jake Fede from Del Valle, the quarterback. You could talk about running back Ryan Estrada, who's starring for the El Dorado Aztecs. You could talk about Davion Singleton, who in the middle of the season made a quarterback change. He's now the quarterback full-time for the Chapin Huskies.
And they've won 3 in a row since they made that change.
And it's working
it's amazing.
And
Absolutely.
then you also talk about Justin Morales over at Franklin, who's going to Kansas State next year, and Ernie Powers, who's still picking up some offers as well. You touched on him. This is a great senior class.
It's been a fantastic senior class, all leading up into the Greater El Paso Football Showcase All-Star Game, which will be Saturday, December 20th at SAC 2, 1 p.m. kickoff. Tickets at the door, really easy. Come support. All goes to scholarships and could feature all these players, all with Division I offers. And Ernie Powers, you got to think he's going to have an FBS offer, Division I offer here very, very soon, leading the state of Texas in rushing. That's a heck of a feat through 7 weeks of the season.
No doubt. And I think about Ernie Powers, and I just think it's going to be one domino that falls at a Power 4 level. Once one school jumps on board, all the others will start jumping on board as well. And you think about the Powers lineage right there. He's got brothers who've obviously played at the college level. No one has played at UTEP, but Ernie has that UTEP offer. Can he get any offers outside of UTEP? I think the answer is yes. It's just about when.
Yeah, I think UTEP and NMSU have got to come calling soon, right? I
Yeah.
mean, come on. This kid's right here in your own backyard, but you're looking at his older brothers, David and Steven, with the careers they had at Franklin moving on. Of course, injuries kind of derailed a little bit of their careers, but Ernie Powers is such a fantastic player. With, as you said, Kansas State commit Justin Morales leading the way on the offensive line. Franklin has really played well. But you look at so many dynamic players, people coming out of the woodwork. Hopefully they're playing well. Kingston Jeffries, the Eastwood quarterback. Hopefully, I think he's a sophomore or junior, not necessarily a senior just yet, but playing their way, catching all the eyes of everybody at the Greater El Paso Football Showcase Committee.
No doubt. And I think about all these different teams this year. This has been a quality season of high school football here in El Paso, and it makes us excited about the Greater El Paso Football Showcase. Let's talk about some of the upcoming events here that we have on deck. The golf tournament is right around the corner and a couple spots available.
Golf for scholarships at several spots still available. It'll be Friday, October 24th, 11 a.m. shotgun start over at Underwood Golf Course. All proceeds go to scholarships. Last year, the Greater El Paso Football Showcase gave out $30,000 worth of scholarships, and that was a little bit low over the last couple of years. We routinely, and I'm trying to get back up there, about to $40,000 worth of scholarships. In 33, this will be our 33rd year. In 32 years of the Greater El Paso Football Showcase, we've given out over 700 scholarships, over $700,000 worth. I mean, so we're here for the community. Everything we get, all our non-paid volunteer positions within the showcase committee, all money goes directly back to scholarships. Not just football players. Remember, we like to incorporate everybody that you see at a football game. You see the band, you see cheerleaders, you see dancers, you see choir, you see JRTC, you see sports trainers, sports media. They're all involved in the game on our 33rd Greater El Paso Football Showcase All-Star Game, and they're all eligible for scholarships.
That's wonderful. I mean, you think about how inclusive this is for everybody. That's got to, I mean, before we continue with some of the events, Beau, that's got to be one of the reasons that drives your passion to be behind this is
100%.
all that it does for the seniors and all that it does for high school athletes or non-athletes, people who are in athletics but do other things like dance, cheer, RN band, like you mentioned, JROTC, everything else.
It's a blast, and it involves everybody. It's not just football players. It involves everybody, and it's really rewarding to be a part of. Everybody, the committee putting in a ton of hours, making sure all of our events go swimmingly, and it all starts October 24th, Underwood Golf Club, Golf for Scholarships for the Greater El Paso Football Showcase.
Okay, just for the record, right? Because a lot of parents would watch this or coaches would watch this. You're not the be all end all. So I don't want anybody to start messaging you or saying, "Hey, my baby needs to be in the All-Star game because of XYZ." Well, how does that process happen?
They have to be part of it. We have a cheer committee leader. We have our combine committee leader. We have a dance committee leader. All that information is on 915showcase.com or Google search Greater El Paso Football Showcase. And all the information is on there on how you can be involved. Prep One has done a fantastic job of getting the word out. There are media handlers in our media committee. Also through the Prep One Media Day at the County Coliseum in August, all cheerleaders were able to sign up there. So they're all in our database. They probably have been reached out by now, and so all are eligible. JRTC lining up can still sign up. Dance can still sign up. Put on by Laura's Productions and our committee dance leader Laura Rayborn. They do a fantastic job of usually 100 dancers at halftime. You know, so it's involves everybody. This year, our EPISD band leader is in charge of the band. But it is open to anybody and everybody who wants to be a part of it.
That's wonderful. And I'd say that on the football side of things, how do players get nominated to play in the 915 showcase?
They're nominated by their coaches. So coaches are given a sheet at the beginning of the season, due October 31st. All coaches out there, if you're listening, nomination sheets are due October 31st because the regular season ends November 7th. And our Greater El Paso Football All-Star Selection Committee will meet on Saturday, November 8th. With all the nominees and select the nominees. But it's all done through the coaches. This isn't where there's favoritism or anything like that. It's all nominated through coaches, and our committee will get together and select the best.
And I'd also want to stress this to a lot of our listeners and viewers. You guys don't just take the 6A players out there. It's county schools, it's 4A schools, it's 5A.
Very much so. We try our hardest to incorporate every single high school. Now, sometimes some high schools might not have enough players, might not have enough seniors, or let's say a quarterback-loaded year. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult to incorporate everybody, but we do our hardest. And I have to really commend our selection committee. We do our hardest to get every single school represented in the All-Star game.
Yeah, and I think when you're in those discussions, because I've been able to be a part of those discussions for a while now, it's really interesting the deliberation that kind of goes on, the talk that happens. It's not just, oh, because this coach nominated this guy as their top overall player, then we're doing the research on the back end, seeing the stats, if they match up with it, and then saying, okay, this guy's qualified to actually be an all-star here in the Greater El Paso Football Showcase.
Because this is the county's game. This isn't 6A game. This isn't a 5A All-Star game. This is the county of El Paso's game, from the border of New Mexico down to the border with Hudspeth County. This is El Paso County's All-Star game, and we try our best to incorporate everybody.
As you've seen this develop over the course of, 3 decades, how have you seen this truly grow over time? I mean, I remember it was East versus West at one point.
Remember East versus West. That this was one of the turning points, is when Eastwood High School was on the West team of El Paso. The way El Paso's grown is primarily to the east side of the county. We had to change it up a little bit. And I got to commend Rick Hernandez, who's still our chief executive director. He's actually coaching high school football, his grandson, in Austin right now. So he's still pulling some strings behind the scenes. My other co-director is Steve Baracek, former Irvin High School football player, and worked with El Paso Electric for a long time. So he knows El Paso. He knows football. And got to commend Ed Stansberry and Jason Flores. Years ago, they came up with a draft idea. It's the Blue Thunder and the Red Storm. And this year, the Red Storm's being coached by Coronado's Mike Pry for the second year, along with Blue Thunder's Del Valle head coach Rudy Contreras. And it makes it so much easier where we're going to get, once all the players are nominated and selected, then we're going to have a draft. And the draft is a blast. And that's where they're going to go to the Red Storm or Blue Thunder. And that'll be Sunday, November 23rd, 11 a.m. at SAC 2's Fine Arts Auditorium. And that's always a highlight leading into the All-Star game. We try to keep it kind of similar to like an NFL draft. Hey, we got a red carpet. We're going to have a blast. And so it's a lot of fun.
It really is. It's so much pageantry that goes on for the All-Star draft. And I think it's great for the families, great for the parents out there. And it's also good to remember, Beau, this could end up being the last time these guys ever put on, some of these guys ever put on pads, right? Like
very much
some
so.
of these guys will play college football at that next level. Some of these guys won't. And this is their last time putting on the pads, getting to represent El Paso and playing in front of their families. So this is a big deal that's coming up here on December 20th.
And they might be able to compete against their teammate. It could be a Montwood Ram offensive lineman against a defensive back or a linebacker or something like that. So it also could pit teammates against each other. It's just really a lot of fun. Coaches are all volunteer coaches. They all put in the hard work. And to make it enjoyable, it's really a lot of fun.
Tell us a little bit about the Combine. What goes on at the Combine, which is December 6th?
Yeah, our committee leader for our Combine is Mark Duchesne of Elevate Gym. He's done a fantastic job. This year, what we did is we changed the Combine a little bit. We had Combine qualifiers that were held in July. 4 qualifiers, 4 different strategic parts of the county. So you got far west El Paso County, central, northeast, and east. So everybody can compete. And all the coaches nominated their players. I believe it was about 20 to 30 players per high school. Everybody competed, were timed in the 40, bench press, and everything. And the top 20 of all 4 qualifiers advanced to the Combine Finals. That'll be held Saturday, December 6th, 1 p.m. at SAC 2. And that will be, and all of those will be the top 20 of all time. So these aren't selected, these are by performances. And so top 20 with some, there are a couple positions open for some players that maybe we might not have heard of that weren't able to make the Combine qualifiers. So we are keeping some spots open, and those will be through our Combine Finals Committee. They'll make those selections, invite those players, and then they'll get, last year we had 30 of Division II, Division III, and NIA college coaches on hand. And so all the college coaches will be there Saturday, December 6th, because many of the college coaches also said it was a little bit difficult to get out here on a Friday, especially before Christmas break. And they wanted a weekend. And so we're listening to the college coaches. We're holding it on Saturday now, and we'll see how this goes. We're really excited. So excited so that we've moved our quarterback challenge. So all the top quarterbacks in El Paso County will be eligible to compete before the combine finals in front of college coaches.
Man, how cool is that?
Yeah.
And especially because it's underclassmen too. It's not just open for seniors.
Yep, not just seniors. These are the best. Open. We will have to cut it off. Our quarterback committee leader is Trevor Vidito.
Let's go.
Former UTEP quarterback. And he knows a little bit about quarterbacking a little bit. So it's just going to be a lot of fun. Have some fun out there. He's done his Division I college coaching drills. He incorporated those into the combine finals. It's going to be a lot. Into our quarterback challenge before combine finals. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Man, I can't wait for it. Again, Beau Bagley here, Greater El Paso Football Showcase. The big game coming up December 20th at SAC 2. Get ready for it. We're past the midway point of the season, so now it's definitely time to truly dive into the Greater El Paso Football Showcase. Beau, final thoughts and final kind of call outs there for all the people out there who are excited about this game and getting ready for the big one.
I think just come and support us. The combine finals with all the college coaches is free. More than welcome to attend. Tickets for the All-Star game are only $8. All that money goes to scholarships. Come out, watch a great game with some of the best high school football seniors in El Paso County, and support scholarships for seniors.
And I'll say this. You are with us each and every week for Football Friday Night as our host for our show. This senior class, one more time, this is a truly a special senior class. So if you're just a fan of football, come out there December 20th.
And look at it with Chapin's upset of Devi in 5A, 6A, 5A, and 4A. Everything is still up for grabs. This is going to be a great last couple of weeks of the high school football season.
Awesome stuff. Thanks again, Beau.
You got it. Thank you, Adrian. Thank you, Sun City Sitrep.
Let's do it. And next up, we've got Zay Galindo. He's going to join us next. We're going to make some picks, some way too early picks for the Greater El Paso Football Showcase for guys who you might see on the Red Storm or the Blue Thunder. That's coming up next right here on our Football Friday Night podcast on Sun City Sitrep. All right, and we are back. It is time to make some way too early picks for our high school football picks for the 915 Showcase, the Greater El Paso Football Showcase. Who might be an all-star here when it's all said and done? Remember, only seniors are eligible for the actual all-star game. Beau just talked about it. If you're underclassmen, you could compete in some of the combine drills or the quarterback challenge. But these players that we're going to be talking about right now are specifically just seniors. And for all transparency, we're part of the nomination team. So this could have some influence on who we decide to actually be in the 915 Showcase game when it's all said and done, and players who actually might be in that matchup on December 20th. This is way too early. There's still season left in this year for a lot of these guys to change or rewrite the conversation. But let me tell you this, if you're a parent out there and you're watching this and you feel like your child should be a part of the 915 Showcase game and that we're sleeping on somebody, let us know in the comments. Let us know in our YouTube comments, our social media comments on Instagram and Twitter and X. Let us know who we missed out on. We'd love to talk more about this one right here. And I think this is an ongoing debate either way. So Zay, that's where we get things started. All-Star game, there's some feelings hurt, but it should be the best of the best. You should have the All-Stars, the standout players, be the ones who are featured for this kind of game.
I agree. It should be such a prestigious nomination, to be able to go out there, play one more high school football game with all your buddies, but you got to earn it. And, man, there are a lot of players. We're going to miss them. We're definitely going to miss them today that we'll probably look back at and say, how did we not nominate this guy?
Yes.
We'll see.
Yeah, and like Beau was talking about before, district titles are still up for grabs. This is going to lead into a fun week of week 8 Football Friday Night, also week 9 on deck as well. That should start deciding playoff seedings, playoff implications, and then who might end up being the district title holder for all the big districts out there. So let's open it up. We're gonna go player for player, and you have a list, I have a list, and we're just gonna go and name dudes out there who we think could make this all-star game when it's all said and done. Let's start off with the running backs. I'll give you the first crack at it. There's two obvious choices, 1A, 1B. So if you are one of the draft selectors right now, where are you going here for running back 1, senior all-stars here for 2025?
Yeah, like you said, there's two, easy 1A, 1B choices, but I got to go with the guy who is leading the state of Texas in rushing yards, and that is none other than Franklin running back Ernie Powers. I mean, so dominant, broke the single season rushing touchdown record last week against Eastwood, and he's insane. Over 2,000 yards already. He's probably going to near around 45 touchdowns once the season ends. So that's my first overall pick at the running back position.
All right, Franklin's finest is number 1 at the running back spot. I'm going to go with 1B, which is Ryan Estrada, who still has the best high school football career out of any of these running backs out there that we could talk about. I mean, he is the Minnesota commit. He's going to be playing in the Big Ten very soon. As far as prospects goes, you haven't seen a decorated running back prospect like him since the likes of Tavoris Jones, who's currently playing in the SEC for Missouri. Like, that's the kind of level that Ryan Estrada can get to when it's all said and done. This guy is an absolute monster. Last week, when El Dorado did battle against Parkland, fireworks in the first quarter, not even the first half, first quarter. They put up 35 points in the first quarter, and it was a large part of Ryan Estrada. He's not just a running back. He can return punts. He can go out there and be active in the receiving game. Like, this guy's a do-it-all running back out here. I want him to take this game seriously. I want scouts to realize how much of a dude this guy really is, and realize, hey, look, we may have missed out on him. He's going to Minnesota, and we can appreciate how much of a stud the El Dorado Aztec running back is in Ryan Estrada. So he's my first pick at the running back spot. Go ahead, give me your next pick.
So with my next pick, I have 5 different guys on this running back that I could really go down. But, I'm going to go with Burgess's Nes Halsey Snedos. He is a converted quarterback, so he didn't play running back last year. At least I don't think so. I know he was a quarterback for a while, and he made the switch to running back this offseason, and he's been great for Burgess. He's like the heart of their offense. He has already over 1,000 yards rushing, well over 10 yards, 10 touchdowns, and all in all, he has been huge for the Burgess Mustangs. I don't know what they do without him. I mean, he almost like single-handedly carried these guys to a win last week over Horizon, so I really like that pick, and I'm really comfortable with it.
Okay, I'm gonna go with a different running back, but also who's had some prowess this year and throughout his career. I'm gonna go Cameron Johnson, America's running back. Might not be the best running back on that team, but regardless, Cameron Johnson deserving of being a high school football all-star. Not a reflection of his poor play by any means. It's a reflection of that deep running back room at America's. And so I'm going to go with Cameron Johnson, who we maybe even thought over the offseason he would have transferred away from America's. He sticks around with the Trailblazers and is having a pretty good season here this year. So I like Cameron Johnson. He's already at over 800 rushing yards on the season. He'll be my second overall pick here at the running back spot. So give me some honorable mentions. Give me some other names that you have on your list.
Yeah, Cameron Johnson was one of them. I think that, I was going, it was either him or Cisneros, but I ended up going with Nes Hall, and there's so many just off the top of my head. For so long, I thought Gene Palmer was a senior. He's not. He is, and he has another year, so
yeah,
that's scary for him. But, there's so many. I'm going to save my honorables mentions because both of them are athletes. So.
Okay, so they could be athletes.
They're gonna come down the road that I might mention them.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna just mention 2 guys who I think would be starters at other places here in El Paso. Nathan Chavita. I got a chance to watch the Eastwood running back for the first time last week against Franklin. This guy's awesome. Like, he runs downhill. He can pass block. Like, he's a really good running back. If they didn't have Matthew Ramirez there, he'd be the number 1 running back, no question. And he would start at a lot of other places, majority other places around town. And then the other guy, Treyu De La Riva, the other guy who's on the other side of the ball with Ernie Powers backing him. Treyu De La Riva has played high school football at the varsity level since his sophomore year. Last year, I thought he was a little clunky sometimes, and I thought he lacked some of that athleticism. This year, he's put it all together. Like, he kind of is on that fringe of maybe if he has a good last couple weeks here of high school football with Franklin, he could end up sneaking his way onto an all-star roster when it's all said and done. So those are going to be some of the honorable mentions that I'll say on the running back side of things. But let's switch it up and let's talk wide receivers. What a deep wide receiver room this is for the senior class. And man, I just love all these guys right here. I'm going to start off with I'm going to just rip the Band-Aid off and start off with El Dorado's own Jah'Darius Sanders, who he's kind of that all-around type type of player. I know he's just at wide receiver, but you could see the athleticism just oozing from him on that side. I really like Jah'Darius Sanders. There's a reason why this guy could go FBS, and there's a reason why he's got some Division I offers. And I'm impressed with this guy. He'll be my number one wide receiver here out of this pick. So you go ahead with your first.
Yeah, Jah'Darius Sanders, he's on my list too. He's insane. He's insane. He's a great kickoff returner too. I mean, I think this guy is good for like one kickoff, maybe punt return touchdown, maybe even a game. Like every El Dorado game that I've covered, he's returned one to the house. So he really is a super athlete. And for my first pick, I'm gonna go with Del Valle's own Josiah Nunez.
Nice, wasn't on my list.
He's really good, man. He's really good. He's kind of benefited from having such a pass-heavy offense with Jake Fede, but he just finds ways to be open. He finds ways to be open. He is a guy, he's big. Like, he's a big receiver in person, and he's another guy that, if things keep going his way, I can see him picking up maybe an offer or two to not even a D2, D3, maybe even a D1 team, maybe FCS, lower FBS. I can see that happening for a guy like him.
Okay, my next wide receiver is going to be Eastlake wide receiver Junior Trotman, who isn't the top leading receiver on that team, but I think is one of the best athletes in 6A. I mean, Junior Trotman has done it year over year as well, has been in varsity football for a while now, and is a really impressive athlete when you see him just jump off the page. You could also think about Derek Holguin on that same team. He's probably going to be that. This is going to be the toughest one to actually pick out, like who's going to be the wide receivers for both squads. So you could take either or. Junior Trotman, Derek Holguin, like both of those guys in the Eastlake receiving game. So that's going to be my pick here for the second one.
Yeah, and so for my second one, I'm going to go with Irvin High School's Michael Salazar.
Yes.
He's insane. He actually really is a great player. Him and Dallas Medina, they're just having fun out there. Two guys just throwing the ball up. He's such a good receiver. He can do so much for you. He has great prowess after the catch. He can make a play once he has the ball in his hands. And then he can go up there and get it. If it's a 50-50 ball, especially against, no disrespect to some of the 418, he's a big receiver. He's a matchup nightmare for a lot of teams because he's super fast and he's super big. So there's not really much you can do when you're trying to go one-on-one with a guy like Michael Salazar. So yeah, he's my pick. Insane.
Okay, my next pick, and it's taken this many picks to get to number 5, and he's probably going to be the first wide receiver taken on November 24th when this draft happens for the 915 showcase. Jude Walker. I mean, Eastwood's finest. He has been somebody who's dealt with injuries this year, has been out for the last 2-3 weeks, and Jude Walker still, when you watch him, even in warmups as a decoy ahead of the game against Franklin, this guy was flying around the field like in warmups, and he didn't play a snap. He was more of a decoy for warmups to say, oh, could he play in that game? He ended up playing, but Jude Walker, man, he's phenomenal. If he's healthy, man, he's a full go. He's definitely, no doubt in my mind, one of the best receivers, if not the number one receivers in town. And it took 5 picks to get to Jude Walker. So I'm going to stick with him here from Eastwood. Go ahead with your next one.
So as my next pick, I'm going to go with Rasan Bryant from El Dorado. I was debating going back and forth with another guy on here, but man, in the game against Eastwood, this guy came up so big for them. I mean, down the stretch, Eastwood, they had the lead, and you can't really run the ball as much when you're coming back from behind. And so Bryson Booth found this guy like 5 or 6 times. He was just so clutch. He actually leads that team in receiving over Jah'Darius Sanders, and he's really, really good. He's really fluid. He's a fluid guy, fluid mover, and he gets my pick.
Okay, my honorable mention is going to be wide receiver from Socorro, Alex Gallardo, who I've got a chance to watch some of his tape and can fly around, can move around, and out of the Bulldogs group for a younger squad and really talented group out at Socorro who's getting better week over week. He's going to be my pick out of that squad for Socorro. Any honorable mentions for you?
Yeah, my honorable mention is Adrian Cortinas from Mount Wood. He probably should have been picked, honestly.
Man, yeah.
He really should have been picked. I think he might lead the city in receiving, honestly, because they throw the ball so much. 784 receiving yards on the year. He's averaging 112 yards a game. Like, this is really an all-time snub, but there's just so many good receivers. We can only pick 3 right now. But yeah, I'm comfortable with him. He's being my honorable mention. He's been really good.
Okay, let's go to offensive line. I'm just going to reel off my two right now. Obviously, we're going to be a lot of offensive linemen that are going to be taken in the 915 showcase. So I think this is the one where parents will reach out to us the most and say, hey, you forgot a 4-year varsity player in this guy. And it's so true. Like that could end up being the case. The funny thing about the 915 showcase is if one side has a lopsided line and the other side has a great line, like it's over. I mean, just mark it in pen. The other team's winning that game in the 915 showcase. But I'm going to go Steven Lazarine, offensive guard for Eastwood. I got a chance to watch him pave the way offensively. That Franklin D-line was pushed in that big 6A matchup. So I'm taking Steven Lazarine. And then the other side, I'll take Kansas State commit Justin Morales. Consistent on that offensive line, was frustrated last weekend against a tough Eastwood D-line, but this guy doesn't get beat too much. So I like those two guys. Give me your two guys.
Yeah, I'm going with Eric Sandoval, also on the Franklin offensive line. UTEP commit. He's big. You see him in person.
6'6".
He really is all of 6'6". He's a big guy. So if UTEP can develop that, he has a lot of talent. And then my final pick is Josh Cooper from Andrus. Big guy on that offensive line, paving the way for one of the best offenses and one of the best rushing offenses in the entire city. So got to give my props out to him.
Okay, let's go back to athlete before we get to quarterback. Let's pick some athletes. I'm going to just pick one, okay? I'm going to go with Ben Wilson from Coronado. And look, I could have put him at wide receiver 1. I could have put him at quarterback. I could have put him at running back. Like, he's all their offense right now with the Thunderbirds. I want him to play with Coach Pry one more time. This guy's going to be playing baseball at New Mexico State next year. You could tell, like, this year wasn't like the 100% Ben Wilson that we've seen in the past, but for his body of work, I mean, for having the career he's had at the varsity level for Coronado, you could look at Ben Wilson as one of the mainstays for this offense. Next year without him, I don't know what they do. I don't know what the identity looks like for Coronado, but I'm going to go with Ben Wilson here as my number one pick for the athlete. Go ahead.
Yeah, Ben Wilson, I got to give a shout out to him. He's so good. Ever since the sophomore year, like this guy, there was games that he would like literally towards the end of the year when Coronado usually gets on their hot streak, man, he was one of the main reasons. So yeah, I love that pick. And then, of course, got to go with Davion Singleton, UTEP commit. I mean, like you said, you can put him at quarterback, running back, receiver. You can put this guy at defensive back. He's played all over the field for the Huskies. Right now, he's the starting quarterback for them. Led them that big upset win over Del Valle a couple weeks ago. He's insane. Big one tonight against Canutillo. We'll see if he can pick up that win, but yeah, that's got to be my pick.
Okay, we got to spend some time talking Davion because to march down the field and to do what he did, like that was like maybe one of the best moments of this year in high school football, period. Like everybody, we counted him out. We counted Chapin out early in the year and they flipped it around. And for him to march down that field and to cap that game off, I'm still jonesing over. I'm like, I still can't believe it, Zay. Like, and now I got a chance to rewatch some of that footage where he truly marched down the field. He had to put those passes in only places where his receivers can make plays. But at the same time, he's not a quarterback. Like, this isn't his traditional spot. He might be at UTEP, the Wandemi Davis Jr., because he's going to make that transition to wide receiver or whatever he ends up doing at UTEP. He might be that guy for them. And I every time I count out Davion Singleton, he proves me wrong.
He can sling it, man. Like you're saying, he's not a quarterback. This is not his position. But man, he can. The ball flies off his arm. He's a smart football player. I think that's why that transition to quarterback is so easy for him, because he's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing on the field. And I mean, you look back at that last play. He's under pressure. He immediately has to roll out. He's on the run, and he somehow finds his man wide open in the end zone. I mean, he's an insane player. We can never count out Chapin. We should have known that because they have Davion Singleton, but now we do for sure. Never count out Chapin in any game because you have a guy like him on your team. So shout out to Singleton. All
right, let's go quarterback. And as far as QB1, who's your pick? I'll let you get the first one.
Man, that's a give me. Thank you. I got Jake Fede. Who else could be quarterback 1? I'm sorry to all the quarterbacks in El Paso, and there's a lot of good ones, but Jake Fede's in a league of his own, a tier of his own. And, I mean, the Del Valle quarterback, Arizona State commit, I can't wait to see him in college because I think he has a real shot to play maybe a couple years, maybe early on into his Arizona State career with a guy like Kenny Dillingham, who really cares about his quarterbacks. I think that he's one of their jewels of that class, and I cannot wait to see Jake Fede at the next level. One of the most insane athletes that I've ever get to see in person, and just one of a kind.
No, there's not going to be a better quarterback commit that I think I watch in my lifetime in El Paso, like Jake Fede. I think he's in a tier of his own. He truly is. My number one pick at the quarterback spot, Carlos Rojas III. Everybody forgets about him. Riverside's finest. He's still out of this class, and he still hasn't picked up some big offers on his side. But I truly love what Rojas does, and we could have picked him at athlete. We could have picked him at running back. We could have picked him at wide receiver. I'm just going to say he plays quarterback here for this matchup here for the 915 showcase. And Carlos Rojas III kind of gets overlooked out of the Riverside group, but I truly think this guy is a special athlete. He could be playing eventually at the next level, at the D1 level. And I mean, call him whatever you want, but I think, maybe he's kind of like a Ray Flores. Maybe, he's a player like Kavika Johnson who uses all of his athleticism that he had as a winning high school football player and then translates that to the Division I level. But I think he's truly a Division I player. So I'm going to go Carlos Rojas III here for my QB1 pick. Go ahead with your next one.
Honestly, I didn't even know he was a senior. Up until now, I didn't even know he was a senior. He's so good. He really is good.
But he feels like he's been playing high school football forever.
Yeah,
like
he's
been
that
watching
good.
it forever.
He really is that good. Like that's insane to me. But my quarterback too is Damien Briano. Man, this is a guy that I all love to Mountwood. There's no disrespect, but I wish there was like a transfer portal. Like I'd love to see him like on another team because he can sling it, man. He is one of the gunslingers. I know that might be a product of that offense itself because they've had gunslingers in the past as well. Michael Southern, guys like him. But man, like this guy, the ball flies off his arm. He makes smart plays, and yeah, when you're a gunslinger, you're gonna throw some interceptions, but. Man, Mountwood, they put up points, and a lot of that is due to their quarterback. He's one of the best quarterbacks I've seen in 6A this year. And, it's tough how this season has gone for them, but I'm a big fan.
Okay, quick edit. Carlos Rojas is a junior. This is a great junior quarterback class, by the way. But I'm gonna go. So I gotta ding myself for 2. You already won the quarterback battle, but I'm gonna give you 2 right here. I'm gonna go Dallas Medina from Irvin, who is a senior. I'm gonna go Jesse Molina from Parkland, who is a senior as well. But those 2 quarterbacks on one side with Molina, you get a guy who can kind of do a little bit of both. He can kind of be in the pocket, be the gunslinger, take hits, and still fly that ball out. Does his job at getting short yardage. He executes those short yardage passes in a positive way. And then Dallas Medina, he's opposite. He could sling it. He's like, he could throw it 40, 50 yards. And this is the guy, I want to see him play one more time with Michael Salazar. Even if this Irvin team isn't a playoff group right here, they still could be a fringe playoff contender when it's all said and done. But I want to see Dallas Medina, Michael Salazar play one more time together here for the 915 showcase. So my bet on the Rojas, but I'm going to go with Molina and Medina here for my other 2 quarterbacks. So give me one more if you have one.
I don't.
No, I don't either. So I think that's it. But that's exciting because now, you think about it. You got to fill 6 slots. Davion might be moved over to quarterback. Ben Wilson could be moved over to quarterback. Like they're going to have a lot of different spots to fill for that spot when it's all said and done. So let's switch it over. Let's talk some defense right now. Defensive tackle. This is an interesting one right here. I've got 2 names, and I'm going to start with what I believe is I would say like kind of like under the radar defense that hasn't had their star-studded or hasn't had their flowers go their way. But I'm going to go with Pebble Hill's finest Jalen Parra, who has already 6.5 sacks on the season. On that D-line, he's pretty nasty. I've seen him get after it. This guy can move. He's twitchy, but can play a little bit of a nose tackle, play a little outside as a pass rusher. This guy is pretty impressive for me. So I'm going to go Jalen Parra here. My first pick for the D-line right here for the 915 showcase. So give me your next one.
So my first pick will be Kyron Adams out of Andrus, and I like some of the players that we mentioned before. He hasn't had like the most amazing year this year, but it's the body of work. Like he was insane last year, insane his sophomore year. He's a sack machine, and I couldn't make an all-star list without adding this guy in because he's just he's a fun player to watch. Like he gets off his block. He's a really fun edge rusher. He sets the edge, and he's a quarterback's worst nightmare, really.
I'm going to go. So my next one, I'm going to go with a Franklin player. And I just want to say that Franklin doesn't have the greatest defense, at least during this stretch, but I still like some of their individual players. And like this guy, Aiden Bustillos, who he averages 12.9 tackles per game. That's impressive. Almost 13 tackles a game, but he has 9 sacks on the season. I saw him have 2 against Kingston Jeffries in that Eastwood matchup. And man, this guy flies. Like he breaks one, he breaks one one block, and he goes after the quarterback like a madman. So Bustillos, really impressive as a pass rusher. He plays in the interior though, but he's still a solid pass rusher. I think the one thing I want to see him grow on to close out the year is his run defense. But when it's when it's a passing play, Bustillos feasts. So he's going to be my second pick here on the D line. Go ahead.
So my second pick on the D line, I'm going to keep it out in the Northeast. I'm going to go with Dallas Tucker. I mean, he's he's a big guy. He's an athletic guy. Sometimes I wonder that you can even move this guy back out to linebacker, maybe a receiver, because he's that athletic. And, that athleticism transfers into his pass rushing, like you said. Maybe he needs to work a little bit more on his run defense, but he's a great pass rusher. Anytime it's 3rd and long against really any team, he's going to make some noise and he's going to disrupt the quarterback. So he's struggled with injuries this year, but last year he had a really, really good season. We'll see if he can come back and really make an impact on that Chapin defense.
Okay, let's go to linebacker. I'm going to go Austin High School's Jeremiah Parrish as my first pick. You can see him on both sides of the ball. You can see him at running back. You can see him at middle linebacker. I'm going to stick with him at the middle linebacker spot. I think he's a body of work, put together a great career at Austin High School. Eric Pichardo, he knows how to use his players. He's going to be my first pick here for the middle linebacker spot.
So for my first pick, I'm going to go with Del Valle's own Mateo Sensibanez, and 94 tackles. He's insane. He really is insane.
Not have him on my list. He's the best linebacker in town.
I had to go with him. I have really good linebackers. I had to go with him first. I thought you were going to take him second because he really is. He has an argument to be the best linebacker in town. Like genuinely, he's a really fun prospect to watch. This guy needs offers because he's everywhere the football is. He's everywhere the football is.
And he's done it for years. And now I feel bad about Vizcata. I missed Vizcata on that D line for Del Valle. That's a true honorable mention, like true snub right there on defense. So who doesn't know ball? It's me this morning or this afternoon. I'm going to go with my second pick, JB Bonani Guzman from Franklin High School. Has flown around. He does great against the run. The one thing I want to see him get better at is pass coverage as a linebacker. But, you could see some Jaden Wilson kind of stuff from him as a hard-hitting linebacker. In that Chapin game, he was all over the field in non-district play. So he'll be my second pick at the linebacker spot.
Yeah, he's a scary guy to watch coming over the middle. Like, he's a big guy, he's fast, and he has the long flowing hair. Like, that is a scary sight to watch. If I'm like a running back or a receiver, if I'm coming over the middle as a receiver and I see that, I'm dropping the ball all the time. I'm just saying. My second pick at the linebacker position, got to go with Irvin's own Angel Valenzuela. He's been great this year. He missed the first game of the year against Hanks, and I could see how big of an impact he made because that next game against Bel Air, just hearing the way that he was just all over the field for them. He's a huge player for them. 10 TFLs already on the year. Great guy. Once again, always around the ball. And that's such a big thing when you're a linebacker. Wherever the ball is, you see that guy, and got to give him my pick.
Okay, my next pick, actually, this is just honorable mention now. Andrew Centrone from Eastwood. Man, I saw him last week. I was like, all right, I'm in. 4 sacks, 7 hurries on the year so far. Rushes the passer nice. He should play a little D-line. He's kind of like, what Micah Parsons was supposed to play when he went into the NFL, like that outside linebacker pass rusher that they can use in a gadget for him. Kind of like Udoka Izani for MUTEP and stuff like that, but really like him. Any other honorable mentions at the linebacker or D-line spot?
I'm ready. I'm ready to go on to next.
All right, let's do the corners and let's do some D-backs, okay? I'm going to start off with Bel Air's finest, Austin Mendoza, who has 42 total tackles. This guy's a tackle machine. Like, if you're looking for at the next level, at the NAI level, JUCO level, D2, D3 level, this guy could play at that level because he is a hard-hitting safety. He could play corner. He is nice pass pro, but I really like what he does as far as tackling. Like, that's been open field tackles, tackles, get into players on big plays. Like that's what Austin Mendoza does really nicely. So he's my representative from the Highlanders when you're talking about DBs.
Yeah, my first DB pick is Matthew Yarborough from Eastwood.
On my list.
I love this guy. Really, really like this guy. Any big game, I can count him in for an interception. Like any big game that Eastwood plays, this guy's gonna be having an interception. He's gonna make a play, and he's a lengthy corner, but he keeps up with this matchup. Really don't mention him a lot if I'm covering an Eastwood game because no one really throws his way because he's that good. And when they do, guess what? It usually ends up in his hands. So that's my first overall pick. I think he's a really, really good corner, and I really like him.
Okay, the other name, I'm gonna save your cousin for you, but I'm gonna go with Austin's Andrew Andujo. I couldn't keep him at the wide receiver spot for Austin High School, but I'm gonna keep him here in the DBs. He's the best player on Austin, bar none in my opinion. And Andrew Andujo is gonna be their representative in the defensive backfield. Want this guy to play at the next level, so I hope he gets some looks. I hope he gets some offers. I think he's deserving of that. And a guy who's played for them for so long, he's played since his sophomore year. So Andrew Andujo will be my pick.
That's a baller, and I thank you for saving my cousin for me. Got to go with Anthony Vasquez out of Pebble Hills, one of the best DBs in the city. I'm not just saying that because I'm related to him. Like he really is one of the best DBs in the city. He's had a great couple of years, and he does have a shot to play at the next level. You know, he's dealt with some injuries this year, but when he's out on the field, he's a safety that he comes down into the box, and he's really physical. You know, he's a really physical guy. He's able to make big time tackles, and of course his pass coverage is pretty good too. You got to be a good pass coverage guy if you're going to play safety. So yeah, it's my pick. Gotta love him. He's my cousin.
Okay, I'm gonna just say honorable mention defense. Period. This guy could play D-line, D-tackle, linebacker, and maybe even like a hybrid safety. TJ Spilliart from Coronado. Man, this guy's impressive. On the year, 65 tackles, 11 tackles per game. He's up there on all the charts when you look at best tacklers in the city. So TJ Spilliart is going to be my pick. Any other picks that you want to throw out there on the defense? Defense is tough, man. I think there's a lot of open slots out there for guys to make some waves here in the last couple weeks.
Yeah, I got to throw out somebody from Estrada, Ryan Lopez. He's their safety. But this guy, okay, so this guy is maybe 5'5", 5'6". He's a smaller guy on a football field, no doubt about it. But he leads the team in sacks. Ryan Lopez, like I had to watch the highlight tape to make sure I was getting this right. He genuinely is like a 5'5" guy, but he's flying over the field, coming in on safety blitzes, 6 TFLs, 4 sacks for him from the safety position. Wow. An insane player, and he's part of why that Estrada team is so good. They get a lot of props offensively, but their defense is really good as well.
Yeah, I think so. I like that. They might even win a district title when it's all said and done. A younger squad, but really talented bunch right there with Isleta. And that'll do it for us. I think it's a great way to end this. We left a lot to be desired. A lot of listeners out there, and people are going to get upset about this one. We missed guys. There's going to be some guys where we're just going to kick ourselves, and we're going to say, we've seen this guy over the years. How did we not pick him? And there's going to be schools that we didn't represent here today. But the great thing about the Greater El Paso Football Showcase is they will represent schools from everywhere in the county here in El Paso. At least one player could be represented from every single school here as a senior for the 915 Showcase.
You know
and they've done a great job.
I'd be remiss. I'm looking at the name. It's screaming out on me. Like it's looking at me on the paper. I had to even interrupt you because I could not leave this seat without saying Jordan Reese out of Parkland in the athlete position.
Good one.
I like it. It flew past me. His name is right here, and it flew past me, and it didn't
That's
feel
a good
right.
Name. That's
it
a good
didn't feel
name.
right leaving here today without saying him because he's insane. Like we said, his quarterback Jesse Molina, but man, this guy Jordan Reese, he blocked a kick. He blocked a field goal. Then he caught like a 20-yard catch, and he ran like a 20-yard rush, and then he got a pass deflection all in the span of one quarter. Like this guy is insane. I had to say his name.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a great one. See, there's going to be a lot out there just like that we're going to leave the studio today, the beautiful Sun City Sitrep studios, and we're going to wonder, why did we miss this guy? But that's the fun part about the 915 Showcase. That's the fun part about All-Star Games is it's the best of the best. It's the cream of the crop, and who can actually get into the big game and who will miss out on it. That's what's so fun about this one. This is week 8 of high school football. Football Friday night. We'll be back in action next week to pick our district title winners, to pick some playoff spots, and to preview week number 9. The season's winding down. We've only got about 4 more weeks left in the season, including some by district playoffs and all of that. And we are so excited because all the action is heating up. You can listen to all of it on Football Friday Night, presented by Sun City Sitrep, VP Marketing, and Warrior Allegiance. We can't thank our great team enough for putting this podcast out each and every week. We're flying through the season. It's sad that we're almost over, but it's also a great part of the season to know that we're starting to get these heated conversations up and going. So that's exactly how we're going to end off the show. For Zay Galindo, for Beau Bagley, who joined us earlier today, I'm Adrian Broaddus, and we're signing off today. And thank you so much to the great people here at Sun City Sitrep for hosting us here on our podcast. We'll be back in action next week here on Football Friday Night.